What's up, everyone? What's up? How you doing? The past 4 days have been a fucking blur. It has been one really long day, much like how the past 6 months or something, oh good Christ, have just been one really long march. The past 4 days for me have just been one really long Friday, because on Friday, all at once, I had a tooth infection come up, and oh boy, it was the most painful thing, and my face puffed up, and I was bedridden but couldn't sleep because of the pain. It was a lot. I've since gotten on antibiotics and some painkillers, which I'm still currently on, and it's gone down a lot. It's a lot better, but I'm still going to need to get a root canal, and that's happening on the 7th, next month, and I cannot afford it. I will still figure it out, but if all of y'all could help, that would be nice. Let's go to the IRL scene. I wanted to dress up cute because I felt like absolute fucking garbage the past couple days, so I dressed up cute. Dressing up nice helps me feel better. Like, I think I've talked about this before on stream, where dressing up to feel like you're going to work is a suggestion a lot of people give for how to feel like the days aren't blending together when you're quarantined at home. It doesn't have the right effect for me, because being all dressed up with nowhere to go is a miserable feeling for me. That said, if I'm streaming, hey, fuck it. Hey, Ray, thank you all very much. Thank you. Again, that does help. I appreciate it. I wanted to talk about some stuff, some recent stuff that's been happening. Hi, Anna. So, first of all, I wanted to thank you all for, it's at 11,000 views at this point, I think, on the new video, and the view count is still climbing, which I appreciate. That video took a lot of work, so I'm very happy that you all seem to enjoy it. I have learned some things from it. I need to position my mic a little further away, but not too much further away. Maybe I should try to do some more editing on it to make it sound at least closer to my normal mic. Even it won't be of the same quality, obviously, but like if I could just compress it a little more. Bounty Hunter, thank you. Hope you're having a good day despite all the infection and all. I appreciate it, Jamie. Thank you very much. Glad you're branching out into different styles. I'm glad I am too. I want. One of my biggest desires. I have two desires when it comes to making YouTube videos. Desire number one is to maintain the aesthetic of a VTuber with IRL. Desire number two is to make LGBT gaming content a more regular, normalized thing. Thank you very much. I donate $2.30 for the joke, but that's $2.30. Significantly less help than this. Thank you, Square. I would have appreciated it either way. If you donated $2.30, that would have been really funny. Thank you very much, Square. That helps a lot. Because I also need to get my anxiety medication. I have Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday left, and then I'm out, so I gotta get that again. It hit the noise ceiling all the time. Yeah, I need to move it further away. I saw some suggestions to rotate it, but the problem with that is then it just picks up echo, and I have most of my office soundproof, but not soundproofed enough. What I might do is I might prop up my mattress behind the green screen, so that that's the one part of my office that isn't soundproofed, because it's all closet over there. I can't really soundproof the metal doors, at least not without making an issue to actually use them functionally as closets. But I could at least put that there while I'm recording, so that it helps from the audio from bouncing a little bit. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, I want to make LGBT content for gaming as a more commonly accepted, normalized thing. Just people being themselves in the world of gaming. My goal is to be the only non-problematic gaming creator. No, that's horseshit. There's plenty of them. Despite it all, despite everything, there's still good gaming creators. But the point being, I want the perception of non-cishet straight white dude gaming content to be there's a perception of it inherently being lower quality or cringier, which is lame, and I want to put everything I can into making it high quality and high production value without also pretending to be someone I'm not, if you feel me. You can see I'm having a little bit of trouble moving the side of my mouth still. Right here is yeah, still swollen. But I want. Oh, thank you, Dill. Hope this helps you more on the way if you're entertaining all of your votes. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Bobcat. Thank you very much, Bobcat. 2:30. Alright, looks like I'll have to do it myself. Oh, thank you, E3K. Just taking in the drop off a Prime sub. Hope you get feeling better, Connor. The antibiotics seem to be helping a lot, but I definitely need to get the root canal, which is thankfully scheduled, but it's just like a whole fucking process. Yeah. See, here's the thing. I do drink a lot of coffee, and I drink a lot of soda. Bobcat, take care. See ya. Thank you very much. I drink a lot of coffee and a lot of soda, but I also take very good care of my teeth. I have for the past several years. I take extremely good care of my teeth. I floss regularly. I brush 3 times a day. I do everything I can to take good care of my teeth. But as a kid, I wasn't as good about it. I was kind of bad about it when I was younger. I would brush maybe once a day, and I would only kind of loosely brush. Never fucking flossed. Never. And Seabass said hi. Hell yeah. I do actually have Discord up on this monitor, so I can see that. And just by proxy of me being bad about taking care of my teeth as a kid, I now have to deal with all the consequences of it now. No matter how good of a care I take my teeth. That was a sentence. It doesn't matter now because I already fucked up so much when I was younger. So this is a PSA to younger people out there. Holy shit, take care of your teeth. Please. This is the worst. Please brush your teeth. Please floss. Please. Please. The floss, you know, the no. Christ. Connor's tooth infection is the imposter. I've been thinking about getting into playing Among Us, but like not right now. It's a lot. Teeth doctors are expensive. Dentists are stupid expensive. You have a dentist appointment tomorrow? Best of luck. Yeah, I thankfully have decent enough insurance via my family, but that's only gonna last until I'm 25 or 26, and then I'm gonna need to get my own insurance. But can you or someone else put me back on the sub list? I wasn't subbed for a while and I got taken off. It's supposed to do it automatically. I don't think I can even assign them manually. You need to make sure you have your Twitch and Discord accounts linked. I'll check though. Is your name the same on Discord? Is it just Dill? It might have desynced itself. Sometimes it does that because technology doesn't exist. Yeah, let me actually do that really quick. I'll force sync my entire server. Server settings. Or at least you used to be able to here. Twitch account. Ah, okay, there we go. They changed the way this works. Okay, I just synced it. Check if it works. A secret stream bee? How dare you? It's not secret, I just did it out of nowhere. You were taking a shower. No worries, Krez. Okay, so what else was I talking about? I want to make LGBT content, high quality LGBT content, a more common thing. And that's not like throwing shade at other LGBT creators. It's just there is a certain level of quality that exists as a result of people who have been in the game longer. And people who have been in the game the longest, because the internet was kind of only a decent place for them to exist because of all the general bigotry and terribleness, is straight cis-het white dudes. And then the longer you're in the game, the better you get at it, but also the higher quality equipment you get, and the more investment you already have. And I already have a good amount of investment into this, so I am very happy to be able to make high quality content, relatively speaking, while being myself. Your Twitch was not linked. There you go. Doreep, I see ya. Is it okay if you did a pinned message about something overly loud vids and shit posting? Oh, yeah. Yeah, go for it, actually. I should add that to the rules, too. Is there, like, a word for that? I don't agree with the thing I'm about to say, okay? Just fair warning. This is not something I agree with, but I've only ever heard those referred to as ear rape, which is a terrible thing to say. Don't say that. But is there a better word for that? Just like stupidly loud videos that the whole point of them is that they're stupidly loud? Yeah, exactly. There's got to be a better word for it, right? Never heard an alternate term to that. Exactly. Okay, we're all gonna come up with an alternate word right now. Round robin it, everybody. We're gonna come up with a better word. Sensory abuse. That's not a bad one. Ear piercing. No, but that's associated with a good thing. Ear abuse. Ear abuse. Okay, we're going with ear abuse then. Sound blaster. Sound blaster card. Real fucking loud. Do you mind if I take off my choker? Jesus. I love this choker, but also it does this thing where it like strangles your neck, and there's probably a word for it. But also this necklace, by the way, I got this from, is it Pucha or Puka Noodles? Marie Lum, an animator and artist I follow on Twitter, who I would highly recommend you buy from. She's got lots of good stuff. Once I get paid by YouTube, well, damn. I was gonna say once I get paid by YouTube, I was gonna buy a hat from her, but now I should probably save the money because I got fucking. God, that threw a wrench in everything. Jesus Christ. But my Discord busted because rules announcement and colors are the only thing in the Discord for you. Rules announcements and colors. You need to do the whole rules thing there, Dill. I'm not sure why it undid that for you, but that's weird. Very loud music notation. Fortissimo. Now works. So, I've been kind of, maybe it's just because of quarantine, but I've been kind of wanting to get an acoustic guitar and learn to play guitar. I don't know how much acoustic guitars cost. I'm gonna take a swing and say acoustic guitars, this is gonna be hilarious, I'm sure, to people who know about this kind of shit. Acoustic guitars cost, for a low-endish one, $400. You can get a decent one for like $200. Oh, okay, that's better than I thought. I would very much like to learn to play guitar. I used to know how to play piano, but I had to leave my keyboard behind when we moved because it was too big. You can probably get a flea market one used for not 3 digits. Well, maybe, but a lot of thrift stores have closed in my area because of everything. Everything, right? It's not even worth me saying anything specific. It's just fucking everything. Once everything is over, I'll probably go to a guitar store at some point just to get a Rode mic. That's like the next upgrade I want to do. I want to get a nicer main mic. This one is pretty good, but it's also a very specific mic that only works in like certain audio situations, and I would very much like to be able to record things a little easier without having to like deafen everything in my room. I used to have an electric guitar as a kid that I got from an uncle who was in a band, and then I gifted it to a friend of mine because I didn't end up playing it, and he got into playing guitar. And then that friend ended up being super transphobic and bigoted, and that's cool. That's cool. I can't sing. I could learn to sing. I'd have to get lessons, but I cannot sing. I do not have the ability to sing. Did you pin it to shitposting? Let me see. Always put a sound warning. Good idea. That's a good post. I'm fine with that. That one. I'm a little out of it from painkillers, if you haven't noticed. Also, now that I've shampooed and conditioned my hair again, I'm realizing how uneven my cut is. This music talk reminds you of when your sister and I got your father a new drum set. I thought you meant the song that was playing. No, that makes sense. Dad, yeah, you have an amazing singing voice, honestly. Give me the old Flaming Lips guy in your band. You, Marina, and Mom, but okay, you and Marina have great singing voices. Mom has a good singing voice, and I don't. I do not have a good singing voice. Sorry, Mom. Tom, take care. See ya. You want to learn the saxophone? Sing something? No, God, no. I'm not gonna sing for you. Not with that fucking tooth infection, my dude. No, absolutely goddamn not. Also, Smash Mouth sucks. They pretended COVID didn't exist and then got a bunch of people sick. That was cool. Thanks, Smash Mouth. You don't need a good singing voice when you have chicken marinating for fried chicken sandwiches right now. I have to buy medication and shit. I can't afford to get any good food right now. Last night we had egg noodles with butter, and that was some good shit. Egg noodles are good, even by themselves. Well, what's interesting is, this is gonna sound like an old person rant for a second, but hear me out. In today's fast-paced content creation world, I don't know why I did a Ben Shapiro thing there, but don't Ben Shapiro sucks, if that wasn't clear. But anyways, in today's content creation driven world, that's mouth sound, it's really common to expect people to do everything by themselves, when the reality of the matter is most professionally made content is made by teams of hundreds of fucking people, and you have people who specialize in certain things. Even creators who do things by themselves, like generally speaking, like they get their own footage, they record their own gameplay, they will hire editors to edit for them so that they can make content faster and not drain themselves, and also because editors can be specialized in editing. Like Alpharad, for instance, has Mugen edit for him. But I don't do that because, one, I can't really afford to hire an editor, and two, I want to have the skill of editing myself, so I always want to edit my own stuff, because it helps me learn how to edit more. And, oh, sorry to anyone who's squeamish to the sound of bones cracking, Jesus. I always want to edit my own stuff. And sometimes I'll hire artists to do thumbnails for me, but I also can kind of draw now, sort of, so I can do that as well. So at the end of the day, I'm able to do all the things by myself, but you also may notice that my videos take a while to make and come out. That's because doing everything takes a long time and is exhausting and sucks. I've had a couple of times where I've had other people help me out getting footage. For the physical versus digital video, I had Julia record a bunch of gameplay footage for me of various games, and for some more videos recently, I had my roommate Alex record like Majora's Mask footage for the Outer Wilds video. E3K, take care, see ya. So, I don't think it's not a bad thing at all to hire people to do some of the job for you. Absolutely not. It is absolutely fine to hire people to get work done that is either too time consuming or you don't know how to do, but it ends up becoming expensive, so it becomes it's easier to do everything yourself in terms of money, but it's harder in terms of actual skill and time. So my point being, if there's something you really want to get into, but like I have to learn how to do all of these things, my suggestion would be to get into one thing at first that only requires a little bit of that knowledge. So, for instance, if you want to get into recording music and you need to learn about audio editing, this is going to sound like I'm joking, but I'm not joking at all. Make dumb audio meme mashups, like music mashups, like Neil C. Sirega shit. You'll learn a surprising amount from doing that. Some of the things I know about editing, I learned from making dumb It's Always Sunny edits. Like, you will learn a surprising amount just making stupid shit. And also, that stupid shit doesn't have a high of a bar of expectation as like full actual content does. So if you fuck up, no one gives a shit. It's a dumb meme. It's all good. The bar is so low that anything higher than that is incredibly impressive. And then through learning how to make dumb edits like that, you'll learn some of the basics of audio editing and sound mixing, and then can take that into actual work. I learned the basics of coding as a kid because I made a text-based adventure in Batch. Jesus Christ. Even if you don't pass the bar, people will forget eventually unless it's catastrophically offensive. Yeah, fair. Y'all, I've been playing Golden Sun recently. It's a good game. It's a fun game. My emulator has crashed many times because I will change audio devices and not realize that causes it to crash. And I've lost a lot of progress the last time that happened, and I am now in that stage where I'm like, I really need to get back into the game, but also I don't want to have to do all that again. I'm not using an emulator, that's illegal, but if I were, I would be using MGBA. I gotta play Dishonored at some point. I have it installed. I just gotta fucking sit down and play it. It's just that I when I was bedridden, I had my computer plugged into my TV so that I could play while in bed, and then when I tried to swap it back to my computer, it crashed. And then another time I was like, I can't fucking be bothered to wear my headphones right now. I had too high of a fever, and then I swapped to my computer speakers, and then that caused it to crash. I just kind of forgot the second time. That's what happens when you're on painkillers and gotten like 3 hours of sleep total over the bursts of 20 minutes. I've been binging the Halo games with Austin recently. We've been playing all the Halo campaigns. By the way, ODST comes out on the 22nd. I'm excited. It's weird. The Master Chief Collection on PC is weird because it remembers achievements that I got on my Microsoft account from playing the Master Chief Collection with him on Xbox One, even though it's like not at all the same game at this point because the amount of content in it is different. So I'm not really sure how the fuck it does that. Yeah, that's why I stopped playing fucking Fallout 4 on stream, because people kept yelling at me I was doing everything wrong except in different directions. Some people yell at me one way and others another way. It's just Microsoft Sync. They seem to have it figured out. Mr. Congus, thank you very much. At tier 3? Really? Jesus, I don't even have anything special for tier 3, but okay. Thank you very much. So, like, I'm deciding how much I want to talk about what I'm about to talk about. Thank you very much. But, because I hate when people say, like, you're getting political, but it's kind of hard to not talk about politics things recently. But I will keep it vague-ish, with the preface of I'm basically a socialist and fuck Donald Trump. We'll go with that. Okay. With that said, I had registered to vote a while ago, and I got out to vote for trying to get Bernie to be the nominee for the Democratic Party right before everything happened, coronavirus-wise. And I recently applied to get an absentee ballot or mail-in ballot, whatever. The one that you can get because of coronavirus. Hello, Monsterman. Hello. But the point being, I mentioned that to some friends of mine, and they were like, why are you even bothering to vote? Both candidates suck. And I'm left in this really awkward place because they do both suck. I don't like Joe Biden. And I don't like the argument that people use of, but he's not Donald Trump. Because it leads to a dangerous mentality of, it doesn't matter as long as it's not the absolute worst case scenario. That said, it is true, he's not Donald Trump, and I want Donald Trump gone more than anything. And I'm worried that we're going to see an exact repeat of what happened in 2016. Because what happened in 2016, I'm going to recap this for non-Americans, is a lot of people were disincentivized to vote because Hillary Clinton wasn't great either. But she was definitely vastly superior to Donald Trump. And I didn't vote at the time. I was too young. I think I was just barely not too young, but I also didn't have a chance to register to vote. But anyways, the point being that a lot of people didn't bother to go out to vote. And there was this whole mentality of, oh, Donald Trump can never win. Donald Trump could absolutely never win. It's a fucking impossibility. Like, we're all having a lot of fun here, but he's not going to win. And that was what a lot of people were saying online in general. yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Of like, the whole thing fucking sucks. But I'd rather get back to a general layer of sucks than I am worried that I am going to be targeted and taken off of any and all insurance because I am non-binary, I'm trans, and worried that that police are going to bust down the doors of people who are protesting, because that's where I'm at right now, and that's not where I want to be. I'll take a general level of sucks over where we're at right now. It depends on where they are, Yokai, Eric. If they're not in the States, it doesn't really matter. But not to say that U.S. politics don't affect the rest of the world, because it absolutely does. But if you literally aren't able to vote because you don't live in the United States, then it's okay to be indifferent about your opinion about the candidates until the election actually occurs. See, the way voting works in Maine now, of course, right as I leave Maine is when Maine starts to become super chill and cool. But the way voting works in Maine is it's a tiered system where you vote for, this is the person I want the most. And then you vote for, if this person doesn't win, then this is the person I want the second most, third most, and then you vote down the entire ballot. And until someone, I forget if it's 50% or 2/3 majority. Until someone gets that amount, it will just knock out whoever's in last place over and over again until someone gets a large enough majority to win. And that's a great way of doing it, because that means you can vote for the third party that you actually want without it inevitably re-electing Paul LePage, which happened twice. Jesus fucking Christ. But I don't want to talk about this for too long. I just felt like I had to get what was on my mind out there. That saying it all sucks, everything sucks, nothing matters is just gonna make things continue to get worse. And that doesn't mean you have to be happy about who you vote for, but you shouldn't not vote because both candidates suck. The fact that that's the case is horseshit. The fact that you should have to vote for someone that you don't actually believe in is horseshit. It's stupid. But it is how it currently is right now, and going forward that needs to change. But we can't even get to that point if we just give up now. German right-wing politician who's basically the reincarnation of, I don't know who that is, I apologize, outright said that he turned Germany into a dictatorship, and he's still not in prison. The doom and gloom mentality of nothing matters anymore is playing into the hands of those people, which sucks. But it's also really hard to not fall into that mentality of nothing fucking matters. Why are we even bothering? It's just gonna keep getting worse. And the reason why you bother is to hopefully get things on a slow crawl to a point where change can actually occur. And the reasons that is the case is based on a long history of bullshit and how the country was built and founded that I don't have time or the knowledge to get into. Who's Biden's VP? Kamala Harris. Yeah, that's the other thing. That's the other thing is a fucking cop. But it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. But even if you don't intend to vote, which I cannot recommend against enough. But even if you don't intend to vote, don't shame other people for voting. Because the best case scenario is that you make the person feel terrible. The worst case scenario is that you play into the hands of the worst people for something that you might think is innocuous. Oh my god, the amount of people I've seen shaming those who want to move out of the United States because, like, no, you need to help make the country better. Fuck no, I don't. Like, if I'm gonna live here, I want to, and I don't want people who live here to suffer. But if it gets to a point where I'm genuinely fearing for my life because of who I am and because of who's in charge, I shouldn't be shamed for leaving. Like, I'm not fucking patriotic. I don't give a shit about being an American or whatever the fuck. I mean, we have the root canal and rent. You can do a donation goal, and we can help make a united super country of good and chill. Perfect. I want to get off of this topic, but the whole point I wanted of this is to say, don't shame people for voting. That's a really lame thing to do. A lot of countries suck. A lot of leaderships in a lot of countries suck. But the amount of one-to-one seeing in real time this decision being made, actively destroying the lives of people, is insane in the United States. And the just complete lack of actually addressing any of the immediately pressing issues that are occurring. Eric, take care. See ya. It's lame. It's lame. The whole thing sucks, but that doesn't mean you should give up just because the whole thing sucks. Because giving up is just gonna make it worse for the people who are trying to make it better. Hey dude, thank you. 1.5 years. Anyways, keep up. Also still waiting on the Metal Gear Solid 2 stream. I know, it needs to happen. I own it. I need to just fucking do it. It's just a lot. Also, regarding Apollo, the plan currently is to try and finish up this chapter maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. I'm not gonna be super well off. If you haven't been able to tell, I'm not super well off right now. But we fucking had a 3-month hiatus. Did one bit of the trial, and then I got this fucking tooth infection. So goddamn it, I'm gonna force my way to at least finish this fucking chapter. And then if we have to wait for a while to do the final chapter, that's okay. But goddamn it, I want to at least finish this chapter. So either tomorrow or Wednesday, we're gonna try and do that. You know what we can do? Before I go, let's do something. Let's do a video commentary on the Half-Life Alyx video. Let's watch the Half-Life Alyx video together and talk about it. and I'll let you know how the process of making this fucking thing. Also, for the record, you might see me having ad block on because I don't want any local ads playing and doxing me, because they do that a lot. But rest assured, I don't leave ad block on YouTube. I'm only turning it on right now so ads don't interrupt us watching this together. All right, let's cut to. We'll do alt webcam, and then. There we are. Okay. So let's watch the new video together and talk about. Oh, Dill, thank you. The top tier Half-Life Alyx video VR stuff is dope. Sorry, I just got a massive migraine. Jesus. Thank you very much. Holy shit, you all are too kind. Okay. All right, here we go.
Half-Life Alyx marked Valve's long-awaited re-entry into the world of City.
Oh, by the way, right off the gate, inexplicably, this. Oh, hey, hang on. This is kind of broken, isn't it? Hold on. Let me fix this. Hold on. Sorry, I forgot I'm on 2K. My beep. There we go. All right, there we go. That's better. But right out the gate, this Half-Life Alyx logo, I couldn't find a high-res version of the Half-Life Alyx logo anywhere, except for the Jacksepticeye wiki for some reason. So thanks, Jacksepticeye wiki.
Re-entry into the world of City 17 on
give me that 2K.
Overrun by the alien race known as the Combine. Taking the beloved series into virtual reality was a major stride, to say the least, but as you can hear in my review...
Major stride. The amount of Half-Life references in this video. Holy shit.
It assuredly paid off. There are many new innovations in technology and gameplay alike on...
Also, this was from, like, my third playthrough of trying to get footage of this area.
In technology
so at this point, I was just
fucking,
like, zooming through
Alyx. Valve's history of using Half-Life games as tech demos for their new innovations is crystal clear.
Also, I just watched,
the
like, into a random save file of my original Half-Life playthrough to get 2K
Half-Life
footage.
2's abundance of physics-based props. Half-Life
I don't know why there
Alyx
was no
goes
sound for
one
that
step
clip. That's
further
weird.
with fine-tuned player interactions with physics objects. And in no chapter of the game does this level of interaction become clearer than...
More pointless masking to create a fun little effect that nobody will notice. Having the Jeff name come in. At a certain point, you can see when I just give up on trying to have the hands overlap.
And Jeff.
Or like hide behind the hands, and I just go like, whatever.
Some parts.
Okay, so let's talk about the green screen bits. First of all, that's my Litten hoodie for Pokemon. You can see the Pokeballs on it there. That I just folded up with my Half-Life pin and my microphone to make it look more like it's just Half-Life colors. Also, this is a Black Mesa t-shirt, except you can't tell because it's cropped too high. Also, my hair is not a good color to use with a green screen. It needs to be really dark blue for it to work. I'm very happy with how this outfit here is. I also did some color correction to try and get it to match the background a little better.
Campaign, but nothing too serious. Let's talk about Jeff.
Alyx's adventure through a pre-HL2 City 17 has her breaking and entering...
Breaking and Entering is another, it's a chapter title in this
vodka
game.
distillery. Here she meets Jeff, an interloper powerhouse zombie that cannot be defeated
reference.
by common firearms, who will tear you apart if you get too close. It's a battle you
you
have no chance of winning.
The catch is, a battle you have no chance of winning.
However, Jeff is blind. He can't see Alyx, but he charges straight towards any loud noises nearby. Thankfully, there aren't too many
I'll
obstacles.
talk more about the green screen once we get to another green screen segment.
Which make noise.
In the original script, I had Symphony of Bottles Breaking followed by Dying, and I forgot to actually add the dying. So that's where I got the idea to have...
Oh, I'm taking one of these for myself.
I had to actually edit the timing of Alyx talking here. So originally, what I wanted to have happen here was there's a line if you take a bottle of vodka out of the distillery to bring to Russell for the achievement, where Russell says, Alyx talked about, like, you know, it's you really should appreciate the amount of work it is carrying around one of these bottles for you. And Russell says, yeah, but you've got 2 hands. Maybe you can grab another bottle on the way back. And then I wanted to throw the bottle immediately and break it. And that would be the joke. But there's a different line if you actually already have 2 bottles, which played for me inexplicably, even though I only had 1, where Alex is like, oh no, I'm taking one of these for myself. But I also thought that was funny enough to bother having it.
Taking one of these for myself.
A boulevard of broken bottles is the perfect set piece to do battle with a
On
blind
this boulevard of broken bottles.
slasher monster. Not only are there boxes full of easily shatterable bottles
So here comes a fun little edit.
lining the
Y'all
path,
ready?
making for perfect natural.
I wanted to change the timing of this clip here. It's comma, right? Period and comma.
Bottles lining the
So,
path,
so
making
that
for
you can see
perfect
Jeff. You can see Jeff walk into frame here. So during this turnaround zoom, which I sped up a bit, I cut right here. It's a little bit noticeable in the final edit because of the clarity, but it's fine enough, I think.
natural traps, but the bottles can be picked up and thrown across the room, luring Jeff the killer.
I worked for hours to find a way to get a Jeff the Killer joke in here, and then all the comments are saying my name's Jeff, and I didn't even think about that when I was making this fucking video. I didn't even think about that. I wouldn't have included it even if I had, but I didn't even fucking think about that.
Hey, let's not call him that. Luring Jeff the monster away. Adding another layer to this, Jeff and some areas of the map emit toxic fumes which will cause Alex to cough uncontrollably if inhaled. The best way to deal with this is to
I love
simply
this
cover
mechanic
your
so
mouth
much.
and hold your breath. So you have to juggle interacting with switches and buttons, with covering your mouth, using your flashlight, and being
I thought about trying to edit the flashes to black here to make them a little less
Ready
but like
to
it's really hard to do that without it being super jarring in VR.
distract Jeff at a moment's notice.
Like I did that edit for some of the Half-Life footage in my what's the best way to play a Half-Life video? Anytime there was a teleport and it flashes green on screen, I edited it to be less flashy and less obnoxious.
And this balancing act is
Okay, so at the edges here, there's a little bit of red. That comes from how green screens try to fix edges of footage, and also from color correction. Because again, I color corrected it to try and match the background color a little more. Obviously, my hair here is a little fucked. Next time I do this, I'll either have a different color of hair dye, which I might do. Stay tuned. Or I'll just try to make sure it's really blue. That's also why I was wearing the hat. It's just to make it easier to deal with the chroma key around my head.
made all the more difficult by, but
Hey Maria, we're watching my
only ever
video and talking
truly
about
work
it.
in virtual reality.
The way slasher-style killers who chase you through various
Had to
games
record Resi 2 twice because fucking the first recording didn't take. Thanks, Shadowplay.
work is largely based on your awareness of them. Hearing Mr. X stomping around on
This
floors
is edited audio. I edited in him stomping from a point where I can see him clearly because I couldn't get a good clip of hearing him stomping while not actually
above,
seeing
or
him.
your tracker gently beeping to indicate a xenomorph.
I
And
should-
the
I should just
scariest
keep playing
bits
Alien
in
Isolation.
my
It's a fucking
experience
fun
come
game.
from a sudden lack
I know
of
I've
that
already played the whole
feedback.
thing on stream,
the
but,
killer's
like,
location becoming
on my own time, I should
unforeseen,
play it.
only for them to suddenly pop out of a vent. or
This
a
is
wall of
heavily fucking edited, this entire thing. First of all, I got one of the glitched kills where you don't actually hear the audio, which sucks. But also, this kill takes fucking forever.
Is the easiest
So right when the tail is pulled out,
way to stoke
I do a very fast cut upwards as like a kind of snapping effect. Bump. So see, I just cut straight upwards because I needed to cut to
panic
the
in a
part
player
where the
in a
hand covers
traditional
so that I could do this
video
transition, which
game.
was very fun.
Half-Life
This is one of my favorite transitions in the video. It's a simple ass effect too. Literally, it's just the black screen it cuts to from the Alien Isolation. And then
game.
where does it start? Okay, right there. And then I just do a bit of a masking wipe from the side to add in the HUD slowly. And it just so happened that the black matched up perfectly like the shade of black. And I just matched the mask with the camera moving, and then just had the rest of the HUD wipe in. So fucking easy of an effect, but it looks so good.
Instead of the fear being based on the player's awareness of the opposition, it's based on their awareness of self. With tracking of your location.
Yeah, the reason why the light on me and the green screen bits is so bright is because I was trying to eliminate the shadows. Next time I do it, what I'll probably do is I'll tape a fucking ring light to my back. I have a portable ring light that I'll tape to my back so that it will negate the shadows behind me a little bit.
Hands and head. The game plays around situations where the player accidentally knocks over a bottle or trips an alarm, causing Jeff to charge. Throughout the entire chapter, you're pretty much always able to tell where Jeff is.
Half-Life Alyx is a great soundtrack. Which, by the way, I had to rip this music from fucking YouTube. I would have gladly, Valve, bought the Half-Life Alyx soundtrack on Steam to use for this video, but you only have 2 songs, and you're releasing them incrementally for some reason. The game's been out since March. Why? I know coronavirus, but the MP3s already exist. Please just make it so I can buy the music officially so I don't have to rip it from YouTube. I will buy it. I will gladly buy the music officially for videos. I want to support the artists, but you don't have it available officially, so I...
Glance. The fear in this monster is not stoked by losing track of them, but rather losing
this entire segment of the video I thought of in the shower, when I was trying to think of like a good way to talk about how I could compare Jeff to something like Mr. X or the Xenomorph. And the phrase of the fear in this monster is not stoked by losing track of them, but rather losing track of yourself. That idea came to me in the shower, and then I built pretty much the entire script around it.
Not covering your mouth to stifle coughs, not catching a bottle before it rolls off a shelf.
And
Shower
sure,
thoughts do have a
obviously
very
there are
powerful
plenty
energy.
of horror games that work more on a hide-and-seek style of play, knowing where your killer is.
I like the reflections you can see in my glasses, by the way. That reflection is my phone, because I recorded this with my phone. My phone does 4K, which is awesome. In front of the window. And what I should have done is I should have blocked out the window. But in hindsight, it actually worked out pretty well because it sort of gives off the impression of buildings in the distance in the
where
reflection.
Your killer is,
So it kind of worked out decently enough.
But the mechanic can only reach such a level of completeness in VR. The immersion created by this technology is unparalleled.
My shampoo is fucking expensive. I wouldn't knock that shit on the floor. Color Kind shampoo is stupid expensive.
And your self-awareness is limited by your field of view, and no direct input is required in order to accidentally alert the killer. Brushing your hand past a bottle is all it takes to wake up Jeff.
I made a The Wiggles joke. Nobody's gonna get that but my dad. But hey, I certainly made it. Haha.
Imagine
You haven't heard your radio voice in so long, like riding a bike.
trying to make these mechanics work in a normal first-person shooter. You'd have a dedicated button to hold your breath, perhaps.
I wanted to get footage of some other games to showcase what I meant here, but when I was looking for Alien Isolation footage and I came across the first time you see the alien and you're on the keyboard and the line is having a dedicated button to hold your breath, I was like, you know what, this actually works perfectly fine.
Perhaps a selection of items you could pull out of your inventory to toss, and when you want to steer clear of Jeff, you'd simply stand still, not pressing movement keys. The translation of actual clumsiness,
And timing on that
fear,
clip
and
works out
motion
very well.
captured by virtual reality is irreplicable in a traditional FPS to this degree. Instead, analogs must be created, such as holding a button to slow walk to reduce
Also,
the sound of
the timing of the sound of the audio drop on the music there is so good. I gotta play Dishonored. I have to play Dishonored.
holding a button to slow walk to reduce the sound.
But yeah,
of
the
your
audio drop
footsteps.
music there worked out so
It's impossible
perfectly.
to recreate the experience of Half-Life Alyx's Jeff chapter without virtual reality. The high fidelity of player involvement and impact on the world is a requirement for a
Yeah.
monster like this to work. Up until this chapter, most props in the game are pure fluff, objects to knock
Also, I'm really
around,
glad I
throw
made this
them.
video when I did, because the fluid shader in Half-Life Alyx is so fucking cool, and it just adds a lot to the
Are
footage of
pure
this game.
fluff.
Look at this shit. This wasn't in the game on launch. This was added later.
Objects to knock.
But like the water inside of the bottles and the jugs is not a physics simulation. It's just a shader that's entirely on the GPU. and it's so good.
Around
It
for
looks
the fun
really fucking good.
of the interaction. It's not like Alex needs to have all this detail, but the fact that it exists.
I don't think any
opens the
game has ever
door
done
for
that
new
before to that
possibilities
degree.
in the future of VR titles. While it's used here and there for climbing up into windows or digging through piles of trash for supplies,
Oh, this fucking... Okay, so there's an achievement in the game that has to do with the Geiger counter. And I don't know what the achievement is, and I don't want to look it up because I don't like looking up how to do achievements. I just like trying to figure them out on my own. And I don't know what that achievement is, and I was wondering, like, do I have to scan something with the Geiger counter and get it to go off, and that's the achievement? So I was carrying this Geiger counter through a good amount of the fucking game trying to figure out what to do. Which is why I also do this, because I'm like, is this anything? Is the resin radioactive?
Is something like Jeff. This chapter is downright intense, terrifying to experience your first time through. Of course, this is where some of the drawbacks kick in.
Quick sidebar here.
So this is an interesting effect that I started doing, an interesting little editing thing. I think I started doing this because of Unraveled, Brian David Gilbert's series on Polygon. When you are cutting to different audio sources or cutting to different footage of talking when it's a camera, sometimes starting the audio before you start the video is just like an interesting way to sort of engage the viewer a little more. And also, especially if you're transitioning mic quality, it's a really good way to kind of ease the viewer into the transition. So this thing that I do is I will sometimes, I don't do this every time.
This is where some of the drawbacks kick in.
Quick sidebar here. I had to.
That's a J cut. That's what that's called? I did not know it had a name. Hang on, I'm gonna look that up real quick. A J cut is a variant of a split edit technique where the audio from a following scene overlaps the picture in the preceding scene. An audio lead or an audio advance. And L cut's when you do it the other way around. I've seen L cuts before as well, but I just didn't know either of them had a name. Okay. Alright, so I didn't know it had a name. That's cool. Well, that makes it easier to explain it going forward then. But either way, it's a good way to sort of ease viewers into audio changes, and also again just to engage a little bit.
Record this chapter 5 times for this video. The first time the recording failed, the second time was fine, but then I got a 2K monitor and wanted higher resolution footage to match.
The third time the audio corrupted,
this footage here, by the way, it's a little hard to tell, but this footage here, the camera froze because this is when the fucking it corrupted. I think I might have unplugged my headset slightly. That might be what happened. Speaking of, the reason I know that's not right is because this footage of the idle background here was a fucking nightmare to get. I posted a picture on Twitter where I stacked on a table my mattress and then a bunch of books, and then I put the Vive on top of that, and I left it there stationary, because you can't just like hold the Vive up to get stationary footage. It's super sensitive to movement. So
First time
the third time the
so
audio
I fucking just had to set it like stupid high up like that to get idle footage of the background for the green screen bits.
corrupted, the fourth time my controller died while I was playing, and finally the fifth time I got a successful recording. In these
I don't know if you can tell there either, but you can see my hand in the bottom left on the ground.
The fifth time I got a successful recording. In these 5 play sessions, I learned a few things. I found some resin, the
I kind of want to get
currency used for
index
upgrading weapons,
controllers,
hidden in new
but like
places
they're
I didn't
expensive.
previously discover, learned exactly how close you have to get to Jeff before he retaliates, and finally I discovered a gas mask hidden in a cabinet, which you can actually don to become immune to the toxic fume.
I'm actually kind of glad that this recording failed, because this little black bar is there the entire time you're wearing the gas mask, which sucks. So that's why.
Features like this are just another way in which Half-Life Alyx
that's why I'm not wearing it normally when I'm doing this footage, because then that would be in the way the entire time.
Urges the player to experiment, giving the players the tools they need and letting them figure it out on their own. However, even with the amount of detail presented by dynamic props, the
there's no audio
maps
here because the audio
and most
corrupted.
impactful moments of the Jeff chapter are purely
You didn't have that at all when you played and used the gas mask? No, you don't see it when you're playing. You just see, like, at the edges of your vision, the gas mask. It's in the desktop mirror in the recording. You have this black line here. So I didn't know until afterwards, like, oh, that's what it looks like. I guess I won't wear the gas mask then.
As in, there's no variation in locations of traps, the solutions to the
I love
puzzles.
the hand
This
gestures
chapter
you can
plays
do
out
in VR.
pretty much exactly the same way every time. The only difference of note is in questioning the ethics of keeping
Especially
Jeff trapped
shit
in
like
a trash
this.
compactor at
Questioning
the
the
end
ethics,
of the
by the way.
segment, or finishing him off yourself. Games like Alien Isolation, which are entirely focused on horror rather than dedicating a single chapter to it, provide broader and more varied scenarios for killers to terrify. The gameplay beats which repeat themselves upon playthroughs are spread further, with dynamic horror from the AI filling the gaps. Alex,
I had
partially
to
as a
re-record that
result
line
of
so many
being a
times.
VR
Dynamic horror.
game has much more compact chapters with smaller areas used repeatedly. You see, virtual reality has to run at very high resolution and frame rates.
I didn't want to give any exact numbers here because I knew people would say actually to anything I said, so I just said a high resolution frame rates.
Prevent motion sickness in the player. And while Alex performs among the best of any VR game I've played, that is as a result of careful optimization and building the game to be VR exclusive from the ground up. Maps are often vertical in nature, such as letting you platform over a giant pit only to climb your way down into that pit later, meaning detail in the distance doubles as play.
Jacket, thank you very much. Connor just got here. Hope you're doing all right. My mouth hurt. But other than that, I'm doing well. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Thank you very kindly.
Level, making twice as much use of an area while saving on performance that would be reduced by a wider open terrain. If you have to render rooftops and ground levels
I think crushing him is the kind thing to do, honestly.
Might as well make those areas playable. You can see this done all the time in Valve.
There is an extremely good video on Polygon, I forget who did it, about Ravenholm's level design in Half-Life 2, which partially inspired this video. And I highly recommend watching it. If you just look up, I believe the video was called Ravenholm is peak Valve level design. It's a very good video talking about the mindset behind Valve's level design when it comes to verticality and performance, and it's a good video. Recommend it.
Games, Half-Life 2 especially. Not only is it a clever trick to make smaller maps feel longer and run smoother, but it also allows the game to showcase its mechanics in the distance before allowing you to drop into the area yourself and interact with them. At the beginning of the Jeff chapter, Half-Life Alyx uses this to teach you how to deal with Jeff. First by seeing how he reacts to breaking bottles from a safe distance, then by bringing you down to his level and asking you to work your way past him. Then you trap him.
Did I see that right? I thought I just saw something weird.
And asking you to work your way past him.
No.
Then you trap him in a freezer and subsequently let him out again without getting yourself killed. All of this takes place over a relatively small stretch of map, but it feels much longer by
slam up against the door.
Areas with alterations. When the lights go out, for instance, you have to backtrack in the dark to power up an elevator, still using the same small segment of the map, but with added gameplay. And finally, a chase sequence full of traps leads you over the ending area of the chapter. Again, the game renders areas of the map which at first seem like pure detail, but later act as functional terrain. And once you reach said area, you're tasked with finding 3 power cells to open the exit. These cells are scattered around in a room I like to call the toy box.
I thought I was going to talk about this area a lot more in the original script for the video, so that's why I bothered naming it.
You can only enter this room by dropping down vertically into it. This allows you to track
in hindsight, it was kind of weird to give it a full name, only to use that name twice.
Ready to confront him. The 3 cells are all hidden in various areas which all have their own environmental puzzles to solve.
I like this footage
and
of the
messing up these puzzles will cause
the gravity gloves
noise to be made,
breaking for a second.
Jeff over. It's truly a brilliant idea, and there's plenty of bonus resins strewn about, which again can only be acquired safely if you're careful. One false move and you'll have a Jeff on your hands.
All of this is great in the first time.
Oh man, the audio peaks so bad there. Jesus Christ, there wasn't anything I could do about that unless I went to re-record it. Oh man, in hindsight, what I should have done for that clip is I should have just recorded it on my normal microphone and just added some footage in.
These puzzles don't change between playthroughs, and Jeff's behavior, by design, is extremely predictable.
And my point is, I don't think Jeff could have worked for an entire game unless major changes were made to his design to allow for more varied interaction. But doing so would also take away what makes this chapter so good, the detailed interaction created by the carefully designed maps. An entire game with this level of carefully
I love
planned
acting
events
like I don't know what's going to happen in this chapter to get footage like that.
On repeat playthroughs. This is to say, I think Jeff is my favorite part of Half-Life Alyx.
Oh, I did all of that. It was worse before, Rob.
Making use of its engine and mechanics to create a terrifying experience, if only a single time through. But the rest of the game works better on repeat playthroughs since the puzzles and combat
it was
are
real bad.
Static. There's more freedom of movement and decision-making at the cost of being a tad more
Throwing grenades
generic.
in this game is really
At the end
hard
of the day,
in my
being
setup.
a VR title, Half-Life Alyx would
because, especially the one time you have to throw it into a vent, because I have a ceiling fan, and also just kind of a small area to play VR in, so I would just keep like punching my walls anytime.
be just another FPS. Not a bad game, but nothing special either.
Half-Life Alyx, just like most other Half-Life games, is a tech demo to showcase what is or will be possible. In this case, for the future of VR shooters.
I love this script.
But Jeff isn't a shooter segment. You barely use your gun for anything aside from shooting locks off doors. It's a virtual reality horror game one-off, a standalone showcase of using the new Source engine to a possible end. What it lacks in replayability, it makes up for in originality. And
I think I said the same thing in my Outer Wilds video.
Modders and other game developers to make use of these tools and their limitless potential.
Yeah, I trapped Jeff in a trash compactor.
More fun
And
with
then
hand
I crushed
gestures.
him.
God damn!
I hope you enjoyed my dive into what I like so much about Jeff. If you want to see me ramble some more,
I don't
you
know
could
what
check
happens
the
with the
description
frame rate
and
here.
follow
It
me
kind
on
of fucks
Twitter.
up for a bit.
And while you're down there,
But
I'd
it's
appreciate it
fine.
if you considered subscribing. Either way, thank you so much for watching, and take it easy.
Also, I remade my outro to be in 2K, and I've since edited it a little bit to make the this bit a little slower. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that video turned out. Yeah, I did a lot of new editing things I hadn't done before. Chroma key and green screen or live action bits. Overall, if I were to do it again, I would definitely have moved the mic further away. I would have probably refined the script a little bit. The ultimate joke is trying to make videos be over 10 minutes long, although it's actually 8 minutes long now, because that's the amount of time that actually needs to exist for you to have more than one ad on YouTube videos now, is 8 minutes rather than 10. But yeah, overall, I'm very happy with how that video turned out. I would have just refined it a little bit if I were to do it again. That's the main thing. Thank you very much, Jacket, and thank you all so much for coming by and subscribing and watching. Do you still have your shirts selling on Amazon? They're still there, but I'm not really promoting them anymore because I want to go somewhere other than Amazon to sell them, if you feel me. But anyways, thank you all very much for watching. Thank you for the donations and the subscriptions and the cheering. It helped a ton. I hope this was an interesting stream. If not, it wasn't really a funny one. But I will see you all either tomorrow or Wednesday, depending on how I'm feeling, to finish up this chapter of Apollo. Take care, everybody. See you around. Oh my good God. Oh my God, Dale. Jesus. Where is this money coming from? Who did you...